Tired of the spin? Sick of the noise? BS with Joe. Cutting through the show, truth bombs drop. Now everybody knows. Red, white, blue, but never just one view. It's the real, raw take, straight to you. This is BS with Joe. Let's get into it.
All right, well, this is BS with Joe.
So back on China,
Yes.
General Motors, when 2020 happened and there was that big bailout.
Yes.
Okay, General Motors, the CEO at that time decided that bailout was not enough to keep the company afloat. So he made an agreement with SAIC, which is SAIC, which happens to be the Chinese government-owned automobile manufacturing company.
Okay.
So the agreement at that time was just like a gentleman, well, not really a gentleman, it was a business agreement where SAIC invested a certain amount of money in General Motors. In return, they received technology and research and development.
So for money from General Motors, they receive technology.
Correct. So,
Okay.
as time progressed, the General Motors started getting a little bit more in bed with SAIC.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, in 2023, the entire research and development team was moved from Michigan to China.
And that scares me because General Motors do have government contracts with their military.
They do. They produce the Humvee.
Well, not only the Humvee, there's other things.
Yeah, there is. So, at this point, basically what's going on is General Motors has scaled back their sales abroad. Okay, they don't really sell anything in Europe. They've pulled out of the East, which is like India and all that area.
Developing nations.
Developing nations. They don't sell anything in Africa or South America or even Central America.
Just here in the U.S.
Right. General Motors has scaled back down to just the U.S. Now, that doesn't mean that General Motors vehicles aren't being sold. They're being sold under a badge called MG, which is owned by SAIC.
Okay.
There are also vehicles that are tagged in the United States as Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac,
Okay.
and even General Motors that are 100% Chinese made.
But
This is why General Motors was so against the Chinese tariffs.
because they import it.
The Chevrolet Silverado is 100% Chinese.
I kind of figured that because they made a... So, like, I've been looking for electric pickup. I want the Cybertruck.
It's a little pricey.
It's a little pricey, and also the range isn't as good because they can't compete with the Silverado EV.
Oh. Well, see, that's the thing. That the EV market is why the research and development moved to China.
Well, and see, that all makes a lot of sense. And it's also probably why that pickup is competing with the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck's made in the U.S. It's everything in the U.S.
Right.
So you look at it, now I know what pickup I'm going to buy. Because I was looking at the Silverado.
It's Chinese.
Yeah. Knowing that, I'm not going to buy that anymore.
So-
I want a pickup made in Texas.
But this gets worse. At this point, all of the research and development is done by SAIC. General Motors doesn't even have a research and development anymore. They've got nothing but the United States. They've given away all of their foreign markets to SAIC.
So General Motors is Chinese.
Basically, the current agreement expires in 2027. If General Motors can't get a new agreement with SAIC, they are done.
Well, but
So their choice at this point is either become just a badge for Chinese-made vehicles or go bankrupt.
Well, that's already what they are.
Yeah.
And
So bye GM.
well, I can't complain about that because General Motors has been making really dumb mistakes.
They have.
And
But it's disturbing
Ford's going the
because,
same way though too.
well, Ford is still 90% American made.
Right. But Honda is more made in American than a lot of Fords.
That's true. Same with Nissan. Nissan makes a lot of vehicles in America. Toyota has huge plants in
In the U.S.?
In the U.S., yeah.
And a lot of that is because Japan is vested in the U.S.
And there was tariffs on Japan.
Right.
So they moved the jobs in manufacturing here to avoid the tariffs.
That was back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yes.
Now, here's the big thing. Who's got more vested interest in the U.S. being more successful than China? What
US.
country? Well, the U.S., yes. But an allied country. What allied country has most vested interest in us being more successful than China?
I would say Japan.
Oh, easy. Hands down. Japan. Japan's such a small country, and they're so close to China. Same with South Korea.
It's a small country, but it's a very wealthy country.
Oh, yeah. And to be honest with you, some of your best products ever made comes from Japan. And I'm going to be honest with you. They even make things better than any American can. And a lot of that has to do with their culture and their dedication to skilled labor. Some of the products that they make in Japan cannot be topped anywhere else.
And their business practices aren't shady like the Chinese.
No, they're very open and they pride themselves on that. And, you know, we should learn some things from the Chinese. Or not Chinese, I'm sorry. Japanese.
We can learn things from the Chinese too.
Yeah.
How not to do things.
How not to do things. But the Japanese, there's a lot of things we can learn about their culture. I've been studying a little bit about their culture. I think it's a very impressive culture. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, but there's a lot of things that we can learn from it. And yeah, that really irritates me, and I did not know that.
About GM?
GM, yeah.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. There's no way they could come back from that. China's not going to let them come back from that.
It goes back to Sun Tzu. Mm-hmm. You know, when your enemy is strong, you want to appear weak as if you need them, until you get to a point where they are the weak one.
Well, and you talking about how China is having all these economic problems.
They are.
They are. Well, and that goes back to the whole economic communist system that they have.
Right. They've been supporting their economy through a 5% GDP growth every year. Mm-hmm. But it's false because they've been building in construction of not just infrastructure projects, but housing that, I mean, there are entire cities that have been built that are completely empty. Nobody lives there.
Right. And a lot of that has to do with the corruption within their own country.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're inflating their GDP with BS.
Well, that's and that's the whole problem with having a communist country is you appoint somebody that appointed person may not be the best qualified person, but it's my cousin.
Right.
And then he's going to I need money, I need this, so he's going to create these things.
Then again, I mean, it's the government saying we have to show a growth in the economy. Mm-hmm. Have to.
So let's build these giant buildings.
Yes.
That are made of paper mache.
Now we're spending money, and we're showing the gross domestic product.
Yeah.
We're showing growth.
Right. And their whole economy is based off of consumerism.
And
they have to have consumers, and the U.S. is the greatest consumer.
Right, because the Chinese people don't spend money.
No.
The Chinese population are big-time hoarders and savers. They don't spend their money. They don't consume. They're not capitalists.
Mm-mm. But at the same time...
I don't know if you've ever met a Chinese person and talked finances with them. They do not spend money.
No. Well, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. But They probably don't understand why we spend all of our money
They don't.
when we do all this other stuff.
They don't. Well, I mean, if you look at what has happened to the Chinese people over the years, there's a reason they don't spend money.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of it has to do with
look at your grandparents that lived through the Great Depression. They didn't spend money.
right. And that all makes sense.
So they can't support their own economy with their own people.
No. Well, that's a big reason why they're buying a lot of our farmlands and creating this, because they got to get the GDP from the sale of products.
Yes.
Which I guess in a way is good for us because we can consume cheap products.
It's partially good for us, but it's also bad for us because if they buy all of our farmland, we've just sold America.
Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, our technology
Yeah.
through GM.
Right.
And also, we don't make anything here in the U.S. anymore. And,
Yeah, it's turning around.
well, that's why we need the tariffs.
Yeah. It's painfully turning around, but it's turning around.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people out there that hate Trump and they won't accept anything that he ever does as being positive. There are good things that the man has done.
Yes.
And the media won't even talk about it.
No, he's a businessman, so he knows more about economics than most presidents.
The man wrote The Art of the Deal.
Right. So let the man cook.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get out of his kitchen. I don't have any more to say on that. Do you have any more to add?
I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, GM's gone, basically.
GM's a husk.
Yeah. As of 2027, they will be either completely gone or a Chinese company.
Yeah, so I'm not buying a Silverado EV that I thought about getting. I wouldn't be getting it this year anyway. I've got so much debt that I got to carry over.
Yeah.
So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us what we could do to make the show better for you. And that's it.
My knees are popping.
Well, yeah.